base! There's not much we can do except... Hello, people! I'm home! It's all of the Grail mercenaries. They are all back!
Plus a bonus.
She's a new member. Hello, Mia! We'll start with Mia here. We'll give you a quick rundown on these guys.
Purple-haired.
The purple-haired Scottish Jedi is back! She's a Swordmaster. And she's pretty good. You heard me talk about Eddie versus Zihark before. She makes up sort of the third corner of the triangle of the sort of the three best available Swordmasters. And she's sort of in between Eddie and Zihark. Zihark actually looks more like a female Swordmaster than Mia does. Mia almost looks more like an old-fashioned Fire Emblem mercenary. In that she's actually got pretty good strength growth, and her skill and speed are basically comparable to Eddie. And she actually, despite that less than impressive starting defense, has the best defense growth of all of them! Which is kind of funky, and also kind of the worst resistance. Well, she and Eddie both have bad resistance. Generally, any debate over the stats between her and Eddie and Zihark is pretty much stupid because they all get really good stats, and the variations between them towards the end are really only 1 or 2 points in either direction. So, you know, just use whichever one you like best. Mia's great. She's not that sturdy at the start, and she doesn't have a lot of firepower because of her starting weapons, the Steel Sword and the Wo Dao.
Which is just a joke weapon.
Just a joke. She is, however, a Swordmaster, and she's got that S in Swords because of her Path of Radiance transfer bonuses. She doesn't have any bonuses to her stats. These are her default starting stats, because they didn't get her up to level 20. But the S in Swords, she usually starts with an A in Swords. And she has a free Vantage. Vantage is not quite as good in this game as it was in Path of Radiance, because now it works off of speed and has
random chance.
And random chance rather than just being automatic. But it's still good. And it's a 15-point skill, and she gets it for free. This means that you can put the Stun Lock combo on her. The other person you can put that on is Zihark, who gets Adept for free. The Stun Lock combo is Vantage, Cancel, and Adept. And we'll be giving you a tutorial on how that works when we get Makai's people back. She ordinarily doesn't have bond supports. She's got that bond support with Ilyana because of their A support in Path of Radiance. And that's about it for Mia. She's good, and of course, since she's a Swordmaster, she has her plus 10 crit rate, so, you know, Mia, she's good. She's a bit delicate, but she's fast and accurate, and totally usable. She can go toe-to-toe, when you train her up, she can go toe-to-toe with Eddie or Zihark, or any of your favorite Swordmasters, really, and some would argue that she's the best Swordmaster.
And once you train her up, she can actually take hits to the jaw better than either.
That's like Mia, it's the little 90-pound woman! Go sit in the van, Eddie and Zihark. That's a supernatural reference. Anyway. Rhys! Rhys is back! Rhys is kind of like a watered-down Micaiah. He's a magic resistance and luck bomb. He's not quite as extreme as Micaiah, and he doesn't have quite as good offensive stats, but he's a great bishop. I like him a little better than Lara, actually, even though Lara is prettier, but I think that Rhys is pretty too, and he's really great. The main downfall he has in this part is that he has poor movement and he's very delicate physically. So you have to be really careful. The upshot with him is that because of his monstrous magic, he can actually do a whammy to some of these enemies, so he's really handy that way. And he's got that S and Staves there because of transfer bonuses. Again, didn't get him up to level 20, so no bonuses for his stats. But a little bit of boost to his staff rank, though nothing to his light rank. That's his default light rank. He has no special skills, but he comes with some bond supports there. He automatically has a 5% bond support with Titania, and he's got an extra 5% bond support with Rolf because of I got them to A support in Path of Radiance. This is Rhys, but he's a great healer and a great bishop for getting pinch hits, and don't expect him ever to really get fast enough to double people, though. Yeah, mind them snipers and people who can come out of nowhere and kill him. On the other side of the scale, Gatrie! This is roided Gatrie. You remember he was awesome in Path of Radiance? Even though I didn't train him very much. He's even awesomer now. He has 60% growth rates in his strength, defense, and speed. speed. He's a general with 60 speed growth. 60 speed growth. It's nuts. And he's got decent stats growths and everything else except for magic.
And resistance.
Well, his resistance is 35.
Actually,
that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad for a general.
Yeah.
The thing, Gatrie is freaking amazing. He's freaking amazing. And I think as far as classic generals goes, he's the best you're gonna get. I think that the only thing that makes him not clear-cut the best general marshal in this game is his low luck. Braum and Meg both beat him soundly in the luck department, which is sort of a flip side from Path of Radiance. Braum, as you remember, had terrible luck. Gatrie's got okay luck, but it's not as good as Braum's. Those are his default weapon ranks. And, default skill set, nada.
Nah.
He does have a 5 support bond with Shinon, that's default. This is basically default Gatrie. And default Gatrie is really good. You're noticing a sort of a theme here with Ike's party. That everyone's pretty good at what they do. So he's your tank. He's a great tank. Train him, train him, train him. One of the things I love about Radiant Dawn is you don't have to make the choice between Braum and Gatrie. Train them both! You've got room to train 2 generals. Train them. They don't even use the same weapon. It's the Jerk, who has Jerk stats that are basically fantastic. Shinon. This is the Shinon we wanted in Path of Radiance. Oh my god, he's one of the best characters in this game. He comes with a class. The Sniper Marksman class has great caps and he's got great growths to match them. The only thing he's really lacking in is his magic and resistance, and his luck isn't the best, but everything else is so fantastic that it doesn't matter. He's a jerk, and he kills things, and now he's with us from the start, and unlike in Path of Radiance, he's got fantastic availability.
And fantastic base stats.
And his growth rates aren't quite as incredible as they were in Path of Radiance, but they're still really good.
About as incredible.
Not quite. I see,
Alright.
not... Well, okay, 70 skill growth.
70 skill growth, 65 speed.
Oh yeah, the video
growth.
description of this video, if you go down, it's gonna have a huge... I'm gonna basically transcribe all of their starting stats so you can judge for yourself.
Starting growth rates and stuff.
Yeah, he comes with a killer bow and an iron bow. And he starts with an S in bows. That's not transferred bonuses, that's just him being awesome like that.
Yeah.
He has the provoke skill, as usual, which again on an archer or sniper, not really the best thing, but as you can see, his defense is nothing to sneer at.
Actually, go back to Gatrie for a moment. Go back to Gatrie. Dude! He's only 4 points behind in defense compared to Gatrie.
And he's got better avoid.
Jeez.
And only 1 point less HP. Oh my god! Shinon, you nutter! He's got provoke, so yeah, use that well. It actually works on him. He comes with a bond support with Rolf and Gatrie 5% each. And,
By default.
This is Shinon. Use him. He is by far probably the easiest to train sniper, and he winds up just as good as any of the other ones. Really. Moving on. Oscar Man does whatever an Oscar can. He's also good. He's pretty much the same as he was in Path of Radiance.
Aside from the gypped paladin caps.
That's really the only thing that holds him back is the gypped paladin caps. But he's great. He's probably the best lance paladin. He's just... Overall, he's good. He's got really great skill and speed growth, and pretty good luck growth, and his defense and strength are both, okay. His resistance is not as good, but, he's a physical unit.
If you ask me, I say that both he and Jeffrey are, really good lance paladins.
The difference is that you get Oscar for much more chapters.
Yeah.
Oscar will be around to help you.
For longer.
He usually starts with an A in lances. The S is because of transfer bonuses.
And what happened to your bow training?
He has a monstrous 10% bond support with Boyd and Rolf, and a 5% with Kieran because of transfer bonuses. That's not usual.
Mm-hmm.
But Kieran Oscar, he's great. He is a little bit delicate early in the game, and if you get unlucky with him, his defense and strength can lag, so just watch out. But he will probably max skill and speed really soon because of his low caps and his incredibly high growth rates, and then just give him BXP level ups, and that should fix your defense problem, or strength problem, if you're having any.
Yeah.
So that's Oscar. He's great. And Boyd.
Is Boyd.
I think whether you like Boyd or not depends entirely on what kind of units you want to train. For my part, the fact that he can no longer use bows kind of kills his usefulness for me. He's still really strong, and he's still got good skill and okay speed and really good HP. The thing about Boyd is, even though in this game he actually has quite decent defense growth, he's not, he if you train him up, probably won't be much of a glass jaw. It's the thing that he's never going to be able, he won't be dodgy, and he doesn't have the high defense that Braum and Gatrie have. That really makes it so they can just go out there and take all comers. And so I prefer to either have avoidance tanks or high defense tanks or ones that can do both, and Boyd is neither. And so that just kind of crimps my style with him. As a warrior, he gets nothing. No boost to critical, no bows. He can use crossbows, but that sort of negates his huge strength, which is kind of annoying for me. He has 10% bond support with Oscar and Rolf, and a 5% bond support with Mist. That does not stack from Path of Radiance. I did some tests, it does not stack. Even though he had an A support with her in Path of Radiance.
The transfer bonus does not stack.
Boyd is good. He's good. I think that Nolan is a better warrior, and because of Braum... big spoilers, we're getting Braum back soon. I find that I just tend not to train Boyd.
Braum is kind of a better axe fighter
than Boyd, which is kind of sad, really, because Boyd has the potential to be really awesome.
And he is kind of the axe specialist.
He is kind of the axe specialist.
But the thing is that Braum also gets really good strength and decent skill and speed, but he has much better defense.
And better luck, too.
Yeah. Poor Boyd. Give him bows!
Give him bows!
Let him have his bows back. That'll fix everything.
And then he would be awesome. Then I would totally want to train him. But,
yeah.
So that's the thing about Boyd. He's good, but he just kind of crimps my style. Rolf! Rolf is kind of in between Leonardo and Shinon. He's, as you can see, he's at a really low level compared to everyone else. They're all at second tier, though.
Mm-hmm.
And his starting stats are great for a level 1 tier 2 unit. He's great. He's got his Rolf's bow back, which is nice. Rolf, the thing about Rolf is he's got great HP and great strength. He's got unreal strength growth, and everything else, except for his magic and resistance, is average. Or at least, at the very least, decent. So, you know, I think that it's like Rolf, if you train him, he's good. Shinon, if you train him, he's good. And Rolf just needs a little bit more training than Shinon to be good. So, you know, it all depends on how much training you want to do. I trained Rolf in Path of Radiance, and he was awesome. I didn't train Shinon because of his bad availability, so this game I will actually be training Shinon rather than Rolf. Sorry, Rolf fans, but yeah, and in light of that, we're giving you the steel bow and the vulnerary. Rolf was the, Rolf's bow, he can use that. I'm not gonna train Rolf or anything, he's still useful. And now the really only disappointment in all of Ike's party, Mist. What happened to you, Mist?
What happened to your good strength and magic?
I'm cold, I hope I get some pants in my promotion. I want to get something. I don't just want higher stat caps like Ike. I want something cool. Something that says I'm going places. Something no healer's ever had before. Ride a pony! I got a bloody pony! Do you see me? What happened to your speed? And
what happened to your everything?
Everything. What happened to your magic swords? So you've made it this far, have you? So I'm about to be sent down screaming. You came down to us, mister. I like your hair, though. No. You missed! Missed! After you activated Resolve! That's awesome! Why, Mist? Why? This is a fantastic sword, but it works off of strength, so it's pathetic.
The description is completely wrong.
No, yeah, it's completely wrong. It totally works off of strength and attacks defense, and it's just like, why, Mist? Why? If Florette worked off of magic, maybe you'd be useful. She has amazing, weapon ranks.
Because of how we trained her.
Because of how we trained her in Path of Radiance, this is basically the only nod to what she was like in Path of Radiance. She usually starts with a C in swords and a B in staves. It's like, it's weird. It's like, this makes you think, oh, she's awesome, and this makes you think, wait, she's not. I think her growths are actually, okay, all that about Mist, her growths are actually better than in Path of Radiance, and when you train her up, she actually fills out to be a bit better than Alencia. So, that being said, you know, it's like, this is as disappointing as it gets in Ike's group. Her starting stats aren't that great, but great availability. If you train her up, she's awesome. She's still got Miracle, and she's got 10% bond support with Ike, and then 5 with Boyd, Titania, and Jill. Yeah.
The Jill part comes default.
The Jill part is default. That's not from their Beast Award. So Mist, use her because free healer, that's great, but she's not going to be as useful as Rhys for doing damage.
One little edge she has over Rhys is 1 extra movement.
She does have 1 extra movement, and yeah. So
that's it.
That's about it. And Mist,
why you have such crappy bases?
As much as she was awesome in Path of Radiance, I won't be training her much in this game, unfortunately. On the opposite end of the spectrum, what did you want to say?
I wanted to say that, yeah, I think she's better in Path of Radiance.
I think she's better in Path of Radiance because of the magic swords.
Yeah.
That's really what made her great. On the other end of the spectrum, I will be training the living daylights out of this guy, no matter how much he complains. Because he's awesome. He's arguably one of the best magic users in the game! Even though he specializes in the weakest magic.
No.
What?
Thunder's the weakest magic, remember?
Is it?
Yeah, Thunder has the lowest might of all the magics.
Okay, so he's sort of got the middle magic.
Yeah, Wind is the middle magic.
Wind is the middle magic. It's not as strong as Fire, but it's more accurate than either Thunder or Fire. Oh, that doesn't have any crit rates to speak of. Soren is great in this game. The only thing that really gyps him is that he's still got that free Adept, but now it works off of speed rather than skill, and Soren has never been the fastest flower in the bunch, so that's kind of disappointing. A lot of people, if you're not planning on using Soren so very much, or you don't care much about him, although I don't know why you wouldn't, I recommend taking Adept off him and putting it on someone who could really use it, like Shinon or Mia. Yeah?
I was going to say that, another thing they have to keep in mind is that sages have gypped caps in this game.
They do have gypped caps.
It's like they used to have like 28 resistance and 28 skill and speed and 30 magic, but now they've just cranked it down, and now they're just kind of...
The flip side of this is that Soren, like in Path of Radiance, has terrible strength and defense. The flip side being he's got fantastic magic, skill, and resistance, and because of the relatively low caps, he will cap them fairly early, and then you can lay the BXP on him.
And then everything else explodes.
I kid you not, when I trained him last time, I helped Rafi train him when Rafi played this game, and did he max everything except luck and HP? Or did he max everything except for luck? I can't remember if he maxed everything except for luck and HP, or if he maxed everything except for luck. It was a nutty.
Yeah, that's vaguely what I remember about Soren.
You know, that's sort of the flip side to these low caps. You can use it with BXP
to make everything else get really blow up.
But, he's got fantastic magic resistance and skill, and that's really all you want out of your mages.
Yeah.
And his speed is okay. It's not the greatest. He's sort of in that middle range where he's not really going to be fast enough to double most people, but he will be fast enough not to get doubled by most people, so that's nice. Rhys is slow enough that you have to worry about doubling with some of the faster people. He normally starts with an A in Wind and Thunder, and
actually, that's a typo. He normally starts with a B in Thunder, as you can see in this game. Look, see?
Oh, it is a typo. He normally starts with an A in Wind and a B in Thunder and Fire, but he gets the boosted Wind because of Path of Radiance and the boosted Fire for the same reason.
Yeah.
So that's nice. And, of course, his free Adept, which I'm going to keep on him because it's a 15-point skill and, why not?
Yeah.
And, of course, the 5% bond with Ike, which is just 5%, even though they got our support and all that. It really annoys me. Soren is great. Use him. He's awesome. Use him. And
Titania.
The Titanic Refrigerator! She's back! And I think she's possibly the best paladin in the game, period. No questions asked. Because she's a female paladin, and unlike the other 2 female paladins we've met, she actually has decent growths and bases. As you can see, she's 1 more away from maxing strength, and I think only a couple points away from maxing defense.
And resistance.
And she's got really nice skill and speed growth, so, you know, because of her low caps, again, you do BXP once she caps, and she will be fantastic. She will be as fantastic as her caps allow, which unfortunately is not that fantastic, but it's a little more fantastic than the male paladins because she gets better speed caps.
Yes, it's that all-important extra point of speed.
So, Titania.
Yeah.
She's great, she's back, and
she is Vanguard.
She still over-levels everyone, so use her sparingly at first. Because, you know, you don't want to have her completely outstrip everyone, you want to train people evenly, but she's great. That SN Axes is just her being awesome. That's completely default. There's no bonuses there. She has counter. Counter is a bit upgraded now because I think its chance its percent chance of activation. I forget what it's, but I think that it works whether or not she's attacked indirectly.
Yeah, I thought it always worked like that.
I thought it worked whether or not she's attacked indirectly now. Maybe I'm misremembering.
I'm not sure.
I seem to remember it working better in this game.
Yeah.
She has a 5% bond support with Ike, Rhys, and Mist. That's normal. And Titania's great. Titania's great. The only thing that was really holding her back in Path of Radiance was her low starting caps, and that has been fixed in this starting bases, and that's been fixed in this game.
What's holding her back now is her low caps.
Sadly.
Yeah.
But even that's not enough really to jip her, in my opinion. Train her for the mid-game, and if you really like redheaded women on white horses, train her for the end game as well.
She is really gorgeous.
I know, she's awesome. She's beautiful. She should get a better name. She should be named Brunhilde instead of Titania.
Yeah.
Yep. And now, the man of the hour himself.
This guy.
This is not a default Ike. This Ike has +2 to his strength, skill, speed, defense, and resistance. Which is the big thing you might have noticed! What the hell, Ike? What happened to your 22 resistance? It got more than chopped in half! Why, Ike? Why? Nice skill, though.
Damn.
This is Ike. Possibly the best Beorc unit in the game! And, he's awesome! He's one of the best engineered characters, I think. He just works really, really well, and he's not entirely overpowered. He's luck-
Are you sure?
Yeah, his luck is low enough that-
He's a Swordmaster with 27 max strength.
And really bad resistance. And his luck isn't that great.
Okay.
So it's like, the thing about Ike is if you use him right, he's overpowered and indestructible, but if you use him wrong, suddenly mages are all around him and he's down to 1 HP and you're like, dodge, please, dodge, dodge, dodge. Help. He comes with Etard, his special sword, which has a 10% crit rate and it's really strong. It's basically sort of a stylized steel blade, I think.
Or silver sword.
Silver sword.
I think it's...
and an iron sword? What? I don't know why. It's like leftover, I don't know. Ike is great, and at this rate, actually, because he maxed skill, at this rate, he's actually better for BXB level ups than regular level ups. And the Essence swords, that's just normal. That's just normal.
Yeah.
Ike, I think Ike, if anything, has been improved from Path of Radiance. He's maybe not as strong as he was at the end of Path of Radiance. But he's got better skill. I think he's got better skill and strength. What is his strength cap in Path of Radiance?
I think it is
26.
26.
Okay.
I think it is 26.
All right.
And then like.
But his skill was only 29.
Or no, not 29. It was even lower than that. 28, I think,
or something like that.
And then like speed was
29.
27. He was either 26 or 27. I think speed was 27 or 28. I can't remember. But seriously, the big three: 27 max strength, 30 max skill, 30 max speed.
Yeah, he's incredible. He's Ike. He's incredible. He's incredible. He doesn't need no fancy skills.
He's a
and he's got 3 authority stars.
He's a Fire Emblem 4 Swordmaster. That's all you need to know. Fire Emblem 4 Swordmasters pretty much look like Ike in this game.
Yeah. He's got 10% bond support with Mist and a 5% with Titania, Soren, and Rolf. It's not showing Rolf because he's not in our party, but trust me, he's got a 5% bond support with Rolf. That's Ike.
Yeah.
I just can't even. He's got fantastic skill growth, which you won't really see until he promotes and gets a higher skill cap. He's got very good strength growth and decent defense growth and decent HP growth. His speed and luck growth are not as good as you'd really like it to be, and of course his magic and resistance are terrible! Terrible! But that just adds a little spice to what otherwise would be a kind of a Gary Stu kind of character. He's still really the best character in the game, and my very favorite Fire Emblem hero ever, except maybe Hector.
Yeah.
They're all back, but they're all really good. And one thing I want to say about this party, you've got a strong, sturdy, bashy sword user. You've got a fast, accurate, crit-heavy sword user. You've got a strong, high-damage dealing, bashy axe user. You've got a fast, accurate axe user. You've got 2 snipers who are very good. You've got a strong, sturdy tank lance user, and you've got a high mobility, fast, accurate lance user. You have a healer. You have 2 healers. It's like you have a
magic user. You have 2 magic users.
You have 2 magic users. It's like it's such a great balanced party, and we're gonna show you why in just a little bit. We can't shop, sadly. We can manage XP, but we don't have any. We can also manage skills. And I wanted to say that what some people like to do is pull Adept and Vantage off of Mia, and you can give them to Ike. I think he's got enough capacity.
Yeah.
No, not quite.
Oh.
They're both 15 pointers.
Nah.
So not quite enough to put.
Nuts.
I thought I've seen them both on Ike though. So maybe I'm getting confused. I thought they were both 15-point skills.
I think they are both 15.
Yeah. Anyway, we're putting one or both of them on Ike. I'm not gonna mess around with any of these skills. I'm just gonna leave them.
This party's good as it is.
This party is good as it is. You can do that if you want. Support. Sadly, no one can support with anyone yet.
Info.
Info. No items, but we'll read the convos because I like torturing myself with these braces.